Okay, so welcome to live training. Today, what we are going to go over is how to research and reserve a booking according to the requirements of your client. So let me set the stage for the requirements that we're doing. We are looking for, I am booking a girls trip, and these happen to be for my girlfriends. There is going to be a group of us of 8 people is who we're planning. We are traveling from the Dallas-Fort Worth area to San Diego, and it's girls only, so no children, no men, just girls, and it's a weekend trip. So I'm going to show you how you search for information using a travel agent booking site, and then also how you find travel agent rates for a hotel that you've picked accordingly. So with that, I just want to do one last sound check and make sure that you can hear me without any problems and that we are good to go. So today, the goal for the lesson for today is for you to just get comfortable with how easy it is to search for your particular packages based on whatever your requirements are. The site that we're going to use today as an example is called VAX, Vacation Access. This site partners with FunJet. You also can do searches with American Airlines, Southwest, some of the Disney properties, and that kind of stuff. So there are multiple travel agent search engines that we have access to. However, this one is the one that I'm going to use because I actually like this one, and it usually meets my domestic needs when I'm trying to travel within the United States and looking for packages. All right, so with that, let's begin. So I just want to explain a little bit about the site. If you are with my host agency, IntelliTravel, this site is accessible to you for free at no cost. All you have to do is sign up for it. You should check the back office for instructions on how to get access to VAX, but you do need to contact customer service on IntelliTravel side to get access to it. It's simple. Once they give you access, you just put in your credentials and you're able to log in. No problem. Shouldn't take more than 24 hours once you send the email to customer service. Okay, the thing that I like about this site too is that they have the travel suppliers will identify some of their specials that they want to highlight, and you'll see that on the main screen. So right now, Fort Lauderdale is being highlighted here. If you click on it, you'll be able to get the particulars of whatever the deal is. These are the resorts that are participating in this, and then it's got some additional information in the text here. So you're able to look and see what kind of deals that they've got going on, the travel suppliers have got going on currently. And I like that because, you know, if I don't say, I know that actually I saw this yesterday and I know that and it tells you the travel date. So if you travel between May 1st and September 30th and you book by 9/1, you'll be able to get these summer deals. So what exactly are the deals? A VIP, client summer escape total package with amazing deals on everything from luxury accommodations to unique activities design, right? Start with choice of 10 participating beach resorts offering $100 resort credit, which is great. Complimentary valet parking. Also includes a $25 American Express card and summer savings 2-for-1 card provided by voucher for Outlet Mall. Passport, which includes tens of mall retailers. All right, so these are all of the perks for this particular deal. So I like having the perk section because I would know that, right? So if I know there's a client who wants to travel in a particular area or location, this will help give me some ideas as to what to do or where to recommend it based on the deals that they've got going, right? Book 3 and stay 3 complimentary nights at Panama Jack Resorts. That's another one. Jamaica here is another good one. So you can click around and you can see what kind of deals are available to you and your clients by what's on the homepage. Then you also can just see this week's best offers, right? I know for my girls' trip, kids are not coming, so this is probably not applicable to me, but you can see all the items. It's summertime. This is the time to be booking summer vacations. and letting people know that there's great family fun that can be happening here. So, so I like, excuse me, I like the fact that they summarize according to current specials across the suppliers, what's available. And then there's training opportunities that you can get also from VAX based on suppliers training that they've got available too. So I really like kind of the way they have the homepage laid out. All right, so let's get to my group package and what it is that I'm going to be doing. So the one thing I do like about this is that there are multiple major package suppliers that are here. I'm actually going to do, for the San Diego trip, I'm going to try, because my last example, I did Southwest. I'm going to try American Airlines Vacations. And with this package type, it lets you know what the options are, which is air and hotel with optional car and features. And so those features may be activities or it just may be car. So I don't know exactly what it is, but we'll find out together. So we're going to do Dallas, Fort Worth, which is our departing place. And then we're going to San Diego here. Now, what I don't like about this part is with American Airlines, you cannot, well, let's put 6 people. But with the Southwest Vacations, you can put number of rooms. And I am doing 4 rooms for 8 people, 2 people per room, right? So I kind of like the Southwest Vacation. So I'm going to stick with that one because I know that I need to book multiple rooms. And then I'm going to go to when we're leaving, which we're looking at the 5th and coming back on the 7th. And then I want to add pre-select travel protection because I want to see what the pricing point is going to be. And then simply put, all I need to do is hit search. Now, oops, somehow my origin got lost when I switched. So we're going to do Dallas Love Field, since Dallas has 2 airports and Southwest goes out of Dallas Love Field. All right, so I've got all the parameters put in here, and then I'm going to hit search. One of the things that I know from interviewing one of the girls in the trip is that we need to stay in a price point anywhere from $600 to $700. So I know that that's a restriction, or at least a guide that I need to stay within. So that's going to help guide me on some of the choices that we've got. Now, all of the girls in the trip haven't given me that price point, but at least one of them is. So that gives me a good thermometer in terms of the type of package that I want to put together for this trip. So it's doing its search and it's going across all suppliers in this area for these dates and searching availability, and it's going to give me a set of results. Okay, so, all right. All right, so what it does is it does a pre-selection of a hotel and spa that it thinks will meet your requirements, which I always think is kind of fun because I haven't been in San Diego since I was a child, so I really don't even know what it did something. So I just want to make sure it didn't do something squirrely. So I'm going to hit that search button one more time just because it gave me a different option than I was expecting, because I've been doing this a couple of times and I've gotten the same hotel for the last several times I've done this search. So I just want to make sure that there was not anything that I hit accidentally. I'm notorious for hitting buttons and not knowing it. Okay, so here, so let's just do the search one more time and the destination. So you can't forget your destination. So we're going to San Diego. All right. Okay, so it's still thinking. So it could be my connection. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi connection or what, but I'm always a little antsy. I always think things move super, like super slow motion when it comes to the internet. Ah, there we go. I like knew something was wrong because that hotel was not my the first choice that it gives. It's been giving me the same hotel choice every time I do the search. So I um, wanted to make sure that something didn't change. Okay, so what I want to point you at are the excuse me, let my screen catch up to my thoughts. Okay, so what I'm pointing you to is that what it does is it gives you a recommendation for a hotel, then also gives you recommended flight itineraries. We've a 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. flight, and then you've got a 7:20 till 12:15 flight. Now, I don't like this outbound flight, the leaving flight, because that's super early in the morning. Then you also get there super early in the morning, 7 a.m. Pacific time. And, usually hotel check-in is not until 3. So you're going to have all these grumpy women who are traveling at 6 o'clock in the morning. So we want to change that flight time. So I want to do that. That's going to be mid-afternoon. Maybe we've had a couple of mimosas by the morning time and we're moving and we're not going to be all super grumpy. And then when we get into town, we can do lunch or something like that. And I can look to arrange that. But 6 a.m. is just non-negotiable. So I like this 12:20 and we get to San Diego at 1:20. There's a 2-hour difference from Texas Central Time to Pacific Time. So we gained some time there. So I'm going to select this flight. It's going to add about $814 to the base price that it's working with now, but that's okay because I think that everyone will agree that a 6 a.m. flight is just wrong. Okay. Now we've got our new flight selected. We're at 12:20 to 1:20. I'm going to also see the 7:20 leaving, although it gets to back home at a reasonable time. I'm going to see what I can do on the return flight. And you notice that the price has changed. We're now at $746.40. We have our base package price at $4,800, which includes our air and our hotel. That base price is $608.41. And then there's some options that are included here, and we'll take a look at what those options are in a minute that are at $1,100. But let's say this return flight. Let's see what we can do about this return flight. Okay, so here are the options for the return flight. That 7:20 is what we have selected. They have a later flight in the evening, which looks promising, right? But that adds another $578 to the base price. If we wanted to do this, which I think this is really a prime time, it's going to add another $935. And I'm already over kind of my base price or my per price based on the range. It's only by $46, but I think I'm going to leave the time departing alone just for a second, and let me see about the hotel accommodations that have been selected on our behalf. Since I'm not familiar with San Diego, I really want to do as much research as I can about the hotel and see if this is a hotel that all of us will enjoy. So some of the things that I will do, okay, so before we go to hotel, I want to show you what this 1,100 is making up, which is in the options section. You see that on the features, what it's done is it's added SeaWorld tickets in San Diego. 2 adults at $77, and that's what's adding up to a portion of that, $1,100. And then you also see that there's travel protection at $60.99 per person. I'm going to remove the SeaWorld tickets because I'm not sure that SeaWorld is kind of the trip that we're having when we go to San Diego. So I'm going to remove those additional features, and then I'm going to come back later and add some after we select our hotel. So now I'm at $487, which includes the travel protection. I want to keep that. But now my price point is definitely in line with the budget that I wanted to stay within. So let's check out this hotel and see if this hotel is something that we want to stay with, or do we want to select something else? Okay, so I'm taking a look at this hotel. It's a 4-star hotel, right? Deluxe accommodation, excellent service, and a wide variety of amenities, right? TripAdvisor has this at about 3.5. I can take a look at what the trip reviews are by selecting on reviews. And then I can see what kind of reviews people. So this was as soon as yesterday at this resort. This was yesterday. Is Paradise. I mean, these are very recent, and they're giving them great reviews, right? Right. And so this one person didn't like it. So it says it's not family friendly, and so for us, we're not bringing our family. So I'm okay that it's not family friendly, because I don't necessarily need it to be, because our requirements are it's adult girls, right? Is lovely. Love the barefoot bar, sitting by the water fountain outside the lobby, warm and fresh. So, just looking at the first page reviews tells me that this is not a bad property. So what I want to do is I also want to take a look at the pictures. I like the fact that it's surrounded by water. Everything that I do always has some sort of water element, because that's the vision for our agency. And so I kind of like this open, airy sense of the hotel. I like the interior. Everything looks really fresh and clean with the white linens and the blue. So I really like the decorations and the ambiance. So there. Now, I also happen to know that 2 of the girls that are going have birthdays here. So we're going to want to do some sort of birthday celebration dinner. So I'm going to want to arrange that as well. Now, I won't do that in this training, but I do want to let you know that when you are booking travel for your friends, family, or whatever, you really want to make sure that you understand what all of the requirements of the trip are, because as the travel agent, you are responsible for creating that experience, right? So I know it's a birthday. I know that I have a price point. I know that it's a getaway for a lot of the women that are traveling with us, and they just want to have good company, good fun, and have an escape away from their family, right? So this is a really nice, the room accommodations look really nice. I like the view. This looks like this is a view onto the bay. So I like that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the hotel details and see what the hotel has to say. All right, so here's some notices that the hotel wants to let you know is that there's these additional fees that you need to be aware of, and that's going to happen on the day of the trip. So this is something I would absolutely want to make sure that I let the women know that these additional fees are going to happen. Now, what I would do is I would tally up those fees, and then I would add them into the quote so that there is no extra. So when they've paid for it, they've already paid for the fees. And I would take care of that on my credit card, because those fees would have already been included in the price points that I've given them. All right, so if you want to have some more information about the hotel, that's here. Amenities, this will tell you all the amenities that are on site. Again, it's got children's programs. Children's are welcome, but again, we're not doing children. We're doing all girls, so that's really not important to me. But if you're doing family vacation for family, all of this information would be important. What is important to me is that there is a spa, right? Because I do want to arrange a spa day as one of the activity options for the girls to pick from, and I do want to have a restaurant on site so that at least one of the days that we're able to have dinner, lunch, or whatever, breakfast or whatever on site, and don't have to go far for that. Okay, so those are kind of the requirements that I know that are important. Let's take a look at the accommodations and see what's available for accommodations. Okay, so what has been selected is this Lana Garden King. So explore tropical ice with Atlanta, nestled throughout the resort gardens and lush landscape. These guest rooms offer expansive patio patios leading straight into the natural beauty of the surrounding outdoors. That's really nice. All include deluxe marble bathrooms and your choice of 1 king bed with the king sleeper or 2 queen beds, right? So I like this 2 queen. I would most likely, if we selected this hotel, I would want to go and call the hotel once we selected it and reserve and see to ensure that we could get the reservation for 2 rooms. I would let them know that we were coming to the hotel and that we would like to get that block of rooms reserved with 2 queens per room. So, I like this option, but then you have some additional options. So let's say you wanted to have a suite, right? You could have the suite option, but that's going to add an additional $642 to the base price. You could have a bungalow suite. Now, we could probably, if we wanted to have maybe 3 people to a room and reduce some costs, we could probably do some of those options. I would let the ladies know that those options were available. But for right now, I'm going to keep it. I think this is a good option, right? Hotel is really nice looking. And I would have already reached out to my pool of agents, right? So not only do I create a team of agents, there's a larger pool of a team of agents upwards from my organization that I would pool to see if anyone has ever been to San Diego, if they have some recommendations, if I felt really unsure about this hotel or the hotel options that were provided to me. Now, to see what the other options are, you could click on hotels. And what you will then get is all of the hotel options available in that timeline for you. So here are all the options, and some of the features that I like that you can select is that you can select rating. So let's say I only want to do cursor's kind of acting funny. My cursor, I want my computer to catch up to my cursor moves. All right, there we go. So let's say I wanted to just see what the 5-star rating hotels are and what those options are. So this Park Hyatt, you see that this is 4.5 by TripAdvisor. This is a 5-star rating hotel, right? This is going to put us significantly out of our price point. But I just like to see what they have to offer. Like I always like, particularly if there's an area that I'm not familiar with, I just like to see, wow, it's really nice. Landscaping, beautiful property, gorgeous, gorgeous property. All right. Also, here's some additional information. So $30 per day. If we're going to rent a car, it'd be $35 for the parking, and then okay, so this is the 38. So additional fees that are on the property. Amenities, buffet breakfast, complimentary coffee in the hotel, in the lobby. This is definitely a nice hotel. There's also transportation services, local area, which that's good to know, since we're not going to probably rent a car. So the transportation services to local area, I would probably want to call the hotel and find out a little bit more about what that is. But let's see what kind of pictures we can see also. Partner package with furnished balcony. And a sofa bed. Yeah, see, we know that we need to have 2 beds in the room. So that double bed is one option. Here, you also get double bed and breakfast. So let's just see what that option does. So that would be per, I'm going to select that because I want to see what that does to the price point. So we were at 669 before, and now we're at 934. But we've also included breakfast in that. So let's just make sure that we understand what the room is offering for that piece. So I also want to finish looking at the pictures. Right, so that's the room. Bathroom looks good. Nice views. Nice pool. All right, but this does completely bust our budget. Tennis court, right? We don't need all that. So it's really nice, but I don't really need all of that extra stuff. It's a beautiful property though, right? But you know, this busts the budget, right? So busts the budget by quite a bit. So I would want to know, is that one breakfast or is that breakfast every morning? Because if it includes breakfast every morning, it may be a little bit worth it. So that's kind of what I would want to find out here. And unfortunately, I don't know that they gave me that information. Usually they'll tell you. Let's go back to accommodations because I think it's in the details. The devil is always in the details. So we have selected this breakfast one. I think it was the 2 rooms with breakfast, 2 double beds with breakfast. Yeah, there we go. All right, so it doesn't have any more information about that. So since that's a little vague, I would probably call to find out more information because I just want to know what is that breakfast, just one breakfast one night? Because we're going to be there 3 days, right? We come in Friday, we're going to be there Saturday, and we're going to wake up Sunday and leave. So that's 2 breakfasts that we would need to get accommodated. So, but we're leaving really early. But anyway, I would want to get more information just to make sure that that's included, particularly since that's inclusive of the price. But here's some more pictures of the property. Beautiful property. All right. But it's nice and it's really nice, but it really busts the budget. So I probably would not stick with this hotel choice, but you at least can see what you can find, right? You have all of the options. You can search by hotel amenities, you can search by ratings, you can search by, and so once I select this hotels, again, all of the options are going to come and make themselves available again to me. And then I'm going to go again with this first option. I kind of liked with this, but then you see it's negative at $2,100. I think we need to stay within that negative. So I'm going to uncheck that. And then I'm going to go back with this selection. Now, just be careful. This selection comes with these, those SeaWorld tickets, so I'm going to remove them again. All right, and so we're going to stick with the recommended option for now. And then I'm going to show you, I still don't think that we want to rent a car but this tells me that we're going to need some mode of transportation. So I would want to find out from this hotel if they have transportation services, if that's something that we could do. I need to find out what type of activities the ladies want to do. Remove that last one. To determine, do we want to get a car or not? But right now, I'm going to exclude the car situation for right now because I don't have all of the information as to the activities that we want to do. Because for 8 women, we would either need to have a van or like a, not a van, an SUV. SUVs usually fit 8 people in them comfortably, or a minivan or something like that. So, okay, so here are the features. So these are activities that are available to you in California that this VAX has available. So I kind of liked some of these. So what I would do is I would add them to the sales email to see if these would be things that they would be interested in. There was a, there was two of them that I actually like. I like this, that one. So that one I would know, I would make note of that was 470.88. And one of the things too here that we want to do is that we want to create a sales email. Because once we create a sales email, then you can add these items to the sales email. So let's find that one that I just had. So we could do, like, I like this one too, the city tour. I don't think any of the ladies have been to, so we can add that to the sales email so that it brings here. And then there was another one that was like a nightlife, like night bar hopping. All of my girlfriends are like me. We all like to drink. So can't find it right now. Probably going too fast. But you see, you can add, and so, you know, not to waste all of you. Okay, here it was, nighttime crawl. So we're going to do that on the 5th. Here, we're going to add that to the sales email as well. Here. All right, so now we've got our trip defined. So let's preview the sales email. And I'm going to actually email it to myself. Excuse me. All right, and then this is going to preview. You can edit the email here. You know, put whatever text you want to have in here. I like the fact that, you know, I would change all this stuff on the bottom and make that, you know, very custom to myself. But this is going to me. But if I was going to send this to someone, I would, here. This, I'm going to do these two because this is going to be the additional information that I'm going to be sending. And I want to have as activity options. This is the hotel, I'm sorry, the airline, and the activity here. So I'm going to go ahead and email that to myself. And then I'm also going to email the itinerary to myself as well, which is the base price items, so that I can have that when I'm talking to them. Right, and that's pretty much what you're doing when you're booking travel, is you're searching, you're coming up with what it is that you know, this is going to be my option number 1. I'm going to preview it. Again, the text is not so important, but when you are actually going to send this to your customer, you're obviously going to want to be very clear about what that text is. Here, I like this section because it tells you what the amount is, right? So the base price of the item is $5,300. The deposit due to today is $4,100, and that most likely includes the airfare and the airfare and some portion of the hotel, and the balance is due by the 21st, right? So to lock this in, we would need to do $4,100. And so that $4,100 would have to be locked in. So that's $4,100. Tell you what the price is, $4,125. $4,125 divided by 8. 5:15 today would, in order for us to lock that price in. Now, our trip is not for another 6 months. I don't really like this deposit, right? So I would try and find, I'd probably not book it through here just because we were 6 months away. I would want to find an option that would allow us to have some more time to pay. So this may not, but at least I am now familiar with what my hotel options are. I know that Southwest is an option for us to do, but Southwest, it looks like you need to pay for the ticket right now. Nonetheless, I would still send this to myself so I could start the conversation with my clients. I'm going to email that to me and here. And then I'll get an email. So at the top front of this, it'll show that you had successful, right? So I now have started the conversation with the client to identify what the price point is, right? So I know that we're looking at about $650 per person in our price range. This is a good hotel. I can get good flights. Now, the next thing that I would do is as an agent, can I, do I want to extend my travel agent rates to the trip for my girls? It would not be commissionable, but do I want to do that? And I've already thought about that, and the answer is yes. So what I would start to then do is break this package up into individual price points like hotel and air, and start looking to see if I can create an even cheaper package for our girls' trip, since I'm going to be traveling with them and commission is not important for this trip for me. It's really the fact that this is our first girl trip. I've created a girl trip club. We're going to be traveling a lot together. So commission on the first trip is not critical to me. What I'm really looking for is I want the girls to bond. I want us to have a really good time. And I want them to buy into the fact that we as a group can travel together, and we can do it pretty economically. So I'm probably going to create a package that's going to be focused on pricing and getting really as cheap as possible with the best experience. So I will probably include something that will do my travel agent rate. So let me talk a little bit about what that looks like. So I know because I've done just a little bit of research, just finished up Marriott training. Actually, I already have the Marriott site up for travel agents, and there is this really nice hotel and in San Diego. It's a hotel and spa. And once my computer stops being angry, hopefully it will let me see that. And so before I show you how I'm going to research the same place using my travel agent credentials, I just want to ask if there's any questions. If there's not any questions, we'll just keep going on. Let me make sure I'm sharing that screen. Looks like it went a little blurry. So I just want to make sure you guys are able to see. Let me stop the share for just a second and then reshare, because it looks like it went a little off camera. So let me share again and see if you guys get a better view. Okay, so good. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how I would search for there is a hotel that I want to try, and it's at the Marriott in San Diego. So I'm going to look to see if I can get better pricing and a better option. So what we discovered when we did the VAX search is VAX requires about $500 down today. We're 6 months out. I really want to create an experience that's going to allow the girls to have 6 months to pay, or at least 4 months to pay, have it paid for by September. Maybe we get the airline later on in closer to the trip, and we don't reserve the airline now. But that's kind of what I'm willing to risk in order to give them that time, so we can have the hotel paid up by September, and then get our tickets sooner, right? Flexibility, because it's a trip where we as a group have that flexibility, right? So you really want to just take into consideration what your travel requirements for your group is, or the people that you're booking for. I'm going to go to the travel agent portion of this, and I am going to log in as a travel agent so I can get the rates for hotels in San Diego. So I'm going to go San Diego and see with Marriott, because again, commission's not important for me on this trip. I really want to create an experience for the ladies that is like something close to nothing they've ever experienced before, right? Okay, so we're going to pick the same dates. And so I am on their site, but I am searching as a travel agent for my rates so that I can see. I'm going to do 3 rooms. I'm going to do 2 rooms. I'm going to do 2 adults per room. And then I'm going to find hotels here. And then, okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to see what other features here. So for me, one of the features that I wanted to make sure is that there was a spa. Doesn't look like that's an option to hit into. I'm familiar with their brands, so I want a hotel and resort. So I'm going to apply that filter and see what I get. Okay, so here are my hotel and resort options here. So the way Marriott does its rating is category 8 is in their luxury brand, 7 is in their premium brand. I think 7 and 8 maybe in the luxury brand, but here what I'm more interested again is in hotel features. I want to make sure that is, and I actually did some research, but these two, like this $263 per night, that kind of looks like it's in my range. I'm going to look at the rates and see what they have to offer here. Okay, so they have this 1 room type, the sofa bed, resort view, rate details, tells me that, as an agent, I can only reserve 2 rooms, so that what I need to do is call them and say, okay, if I've got 3 rooms to reserve, what's the price point going to be there? Again, I want to make sure that I, as the agent, communicate everything to my group that's going to be important, and then I'm going to create a package and then communicate that package, right? But this is actually pretty good, right? So this does not have, this is not a suite, this is a standard room. So this is pretty much what you're going to get with the room, is you're going to have this little sitting area. You're going to have the 2 room, but you will have a balcony. You have a nice accommodations for the weekend, right? So that's one option with Marriott. So I'm going to go back and see what other options I have. There was one that was $322. Per night. And this is right on the marina. It's category 8. I'm happy with the user reviews here. So let's just see what the rates are. right? So this one is a little bit more expensive. This one is $339. Here, you get a balcony. There's a little sitting area. So this is going to be a little bit of a larger room, which I like. 2 beds, right? So you got to remember I've got 2 people per room here. So this one looks like a really kind of good option here. There's a chair, there's a balcony, right? So that's another good option. What I also happen to know about the Marriott is that they have suites. So, you know, maybe I clear the filters and I want to see what kind of suites they have. So I'm going to clear the filter and see what suite options they have available, because they actually have some really nice suite properties. I also like their autograph collection here. Their autograph collection is their unique one-of-a-kind hotels. So, you know, again, I need to see where it is in the area that we are going to be. I obviously love water, so I always want to be near water. But so that's kind of where I would go. Here I've got this courtyard. That's by the airport, probably not next to our destination, right? I also then need to do some research about San Diego, right? I know that I want to be next to the water, the marina. How far is the marina from the airport, from the hotel situations that I'm doing? Because that's going to help me decide on which hotel will be the best option for them as well. But here is this Pier South Resort Autograph Collection. I'm looking at that because, whoa, look at that. That's next to water. Beautiful pier location. You can see by the beach, so it's not too far from the water, like that. Wow, nice looking hotel. Their Marriott's Autograph Collection means it's one of a kind. There's a sitting area. All right, so let's see what the rates say. So again, this is me breaking up a package and trying to create a package by going to hotel, then I'm going to go to airfare. And I do that breakup by actually going to the hotels directly. All right. So here, this is 3 rooms, suite, 1 king or queen, a sofa bed, partial ocean view balcony. All right, this looks good. All right, so I'm going to look at the pictures. I think we've already looked at the pictures, but I think, and it's a suite, right? So that's what I was looking for. Suite, beautiful balcony, beautiful views, right? 3 rooms with that situation. I think I like it, right? I think this is the one that I want to actually pursue. So I'm going to select it here. And this tells me what the price, the total price. Sorry, that's what the MasterCard. This is $2230.19. You can choose your room features. I like that. So I can choose that I want 2 beds when we click on that. Here I can choose that I want mobile accessibility. I don't need that as a preference. You can choose your pillows. Kind of cool. We don't need any rollaway, no rollaway beds. You can choose your location, extra towels, tell them your arrival times. And this one does not allow you to pick the fact that you want 2 rooms. But as I said before, what I would do is, and you can do that by each room, which I really like. I think that's kind of special. Here, so I kind of like this price point, right? And I like, you know, this price point, which is, you know, if I take this $2230, this is only giving me 3 rooms. I would probably need to make another reservation to get the other rooms. So that, you know, $2230, you know, I'm a spreadsheet queen. I would probably create a little spreadsheet. So I had, sorry, I'm just taking $2230 and dividing that by 19, dividing that by 6 people. That's $371. there. And so that gives me, you know, quite a bit of wiggle room for our air. So I would check to see what kind of airline prices I could get and see if I could still stay in that 600 realm, and then, you know, as a deposit, make them pay for the airline, and then I would go ahead and reserve the hotel, and then I would give them some options for us to do activities as well, right? So that's the way that I could piecemeal a package that would allow me to extend my travel agent route to the group, get them a great room with a great price, and then I could create payment plans for them to take care of the costs of this before the room, before we actually got to the hotel that day, right? I would talk to the hotel about all of the special requirements that I had, make sure that all of that would be set in stone. You know, again, I know that I've got 2 birthdays that we're celebrating, so I'd probably want to have a birthday dinner, and I'd, you know, pick the restaurant. So all of that would go into the creation of my package, right? So you have the option of creating a package already with a travel packaging site that does it for you, or you could actually piece it together yourself, right? You don't have to necessarily extend your travel rates. You could negotiate directly with the hotel and see if you can get better than a packaged rate that the hotel, particularly when you start traveling in groups, you may be able to get a better deal when you've got a bigger group than if it was just one room. So it's really important for you to really understand what the requirements for your travel booking requests is about. So hopefully this has helped. This is a group example. You know, when you're just doing a family and you're doing one room, you know, having all these special accommodations is probably not as critical. But if it's a family and they're traveling for a special occasion, you're going to want to know that. So the key here, and the big thing that I want to impress upon you, is when you are creating pre-packages, you get to define the requirements, right? You can define the day, the time, or whatever. However, if you're doing custom packages for your customers, you are going to really want to have a process in place to gather their travel requirements such that you're not having to keep going back. You know, you're doing the research, going back to the client, getting more information, doing the research, going back to the client with more information. So your booking intake form that you create will be a critical step to do that. We're going to go over that. I actually think I'm posting in our Business Foundation group an example of a booking reform. If you are watching this on the challenge or anything like that, ask me and I can show you an example of a booking form. But that's pretty much it. Really, your job is to create the experience, right? To create the experience and sell the experience and let people know. Prepackaged products that you create for marketing your business, you get to define the requirements, exactly what it is, the dates, the times, how you want, you know, what kind of rooms, all of that. You get to predefine that because you really are creating those packages to generate interest and to get people picking up the phone, either booking your prepackaged travel packages or getting you to create custom packages for them. All right, this is Sunday Gardner. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about this training video, please do not hesitate to tag me in the video with your question or send me a message. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.